pretty good. I hit that exacta with the what's his name? Voodoo Zipped on that last episode we gave out the last
Nice.
week. So that was pretty sick. That was like 350 to 1.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was good. Yeah, I think I made some money on that sequence. I didn't hit the pick 5 or whatever, but I think I hit a double or two.
Yeah, it was a fun card to watch.
Yeah, Churchill was good last weekend. Yeah, I have to I'm gonna look at Fairgrounds this weekend too, see if their turf racing is any good.
Yeah, I was taking a peek and I wanted to do something with that card, but I don't know. Like all the big name jockeys are either staying in Churchill or they're in Aqueduct, and it's I don't know. I'm just going to keep following Churchill for the most part because I'm going back to Tennessee in a few weeks. I'm going to try to get up to Turfway Park. So a lot of these horses are going to be coming back to Turfway. I'm thinking, and so I'm trying to just be as dialed into these as I can.
Nice. I haven't been, so if you're up there, let me know. Maybe I make a trip up there. Yeah, no, I could. Well, I mean, I also looked at Fairgrounds as not a track as like terrible takeout, other than the pick 5s and stuff. And I played it a little bit last year, I remember, but I just remember it also raining, just because I like the turf races. But I just remember it being like the races getting rained off the turf half the time, and it pissing me off.
Yeah, Fairgrounds. I always, when I picture it, I imagine like just a slough of mud.
Yeah,
but it's like a southern track, which.
Yeah, it's New Orleans, but yeah, exactly. I don't really know why it's like that, but I feel like every freaking time
from the swamps.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's probably below seawell level getting flooded or something.
Yeah, like fuck it, just keep running it.
Yeah. But I mean, I did good at Del Mar again too, so I'm pretty much focused on California. I've been trying not to. Every time if I can play a little bit of Aqueduct today and lost, I gotta stop doing that, especially now that there's no turf.
Yeah,
but it's so annoying that
they stay away from those big tracks when they're like not on their big race days for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, Del Mar and San Anita, they're freaking only running Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so it's tough to just stay disciplined and not like.
Yeah, you want a little something Wednesday.
Yeah, or Thursday at least. Give me Thursday. Just give me 4 days, and But
that's weird because we were talking about that a while ago, like how they're condensing the California circuit. So how can they not even fill 4?
Yeah, I think Santa Anita will be 4 days. I think it's just this Del Mar. I don't know. I'm not sure why. Because like even the races do seem to have like more full fields, and there are some like Golden Gate horses in there. But I think when Santa Anita starts at the end of the month, or actually I don't know. I don't think Santa Anita starts till Christmas. I think it's just Del Mar, then 2 weeks, and then Christmas. But I think after that, it should be Thursday too. But I hope so at least. Because for whatever reason, my handicapping's been fantastic there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Gulf Streams, the bigger stuff too. That's always a fun betting stuff.
Yeah, I like the. They have that turf pick 3 too.
Yeah, those are
on the weekends. I love playing that. I don't know. The only thing with those is it's like Churchill's or Gulfstream's turf can be such dog shit sometimes, where it like doesn't play like a turf course, where like horse, like when a sappy horse,
like artificial turf sometimes.
Yeah, like when I see a horse like pressing 5 wide around both turns and winning, like then I have to just call it for a little bit.
It's like they're running on a football field or something sometimes.
So anyways, let's get down to the nitty-gritty.
All right, we can get into this. Just doing the late pick four for Saturday, starting with the Chiluki, grade three, Phillies and Bears. What'd you think of this sequence, or any thoughts on this race that you want to start off with?
Yeah, sequence is all right. I don't have as many like big price strong opinions as I would like. But it's not bad. I do like some of the races. I like this one and I like the turf race. I like the two Pigal, I don't know. In this race, I mean, this filly ran huge, two back at Ellis, going a mile. It was their second start as a 4-year-old after a slop win, and ran huge closing to pick up the win there. And then I like that goes to a route on the dirt last time, kind of pressed the pace, going 2 turns, and just kind of faded a little bit late, but now turns back in distance to that 1-turn mile. And I think we'll run pretty big. And then I do think the one to beat is Too Sharp, the favorite, stretching out to a mile for the first time. But I think she's kind of a freak, and there's not a lot of speed in here. So if she gets loose on the lead, I don't see why she wouldn't be able to get the distance. So yeah, I mean, favorite in a moderate price, but I'll probably just use those two in the if I play a pick 4 or pick 5.
Okay, yeah, I'll probably have the 4-2 sharp on the ticket. I'll go with a couple other thoughts that I had. I liked the 8 fancy on top with the 2 sharp probably. It's pretty similar profile and work tab as Pigali, who I also like and I'll probably have on the ticket, but I think it's a great comeback spot. Has raced Pigali a few times in that group. He'd all raced 2 back in a mile. Then went into an optional claimer 80 grand at a mile 16th. I think that's kind of going back to a prep race for this horse. There was no winners at 2 and it won from the inside pretty easily. So I think that's a good setup for this race. And Fancy gets out of the gate really quick. So she could end up in like a good pressing position against Too Sharp on the lead, or just pressing whoever's inside on that second pack behind Too Sharp. So I liked her, and I liked also the fact that she has more experience at a mile and a mile and 16. And for the same reason, I like Positano Sunset, maybe more as like a underneath horse. Probably will be in the second pack. Hopefully not too far back, but just a good finisher. Has ran more of these extended sprints at like 7 furlongs. Looked pretty decent in Saratoga. Has been racing against like a lot better horses than a lot of these, in my opinion, or at least a lot more experienced horses. So it was a good option as an underneath price. I thought that in the trifecta, you're probably going to have Positano or the one Iman Rala as a good price. I think those have a good shot to clean up some ground late. So. But yeah, it's gonna be it's Too Sharp's race. The speed of the speed has been winning a lot of these dirt sprints at Churchill, so we'll see. It's hard to go against her.
Yeah, no, it is a good race. I mean, I think Fancy definitely has a chance. If I was going to add another one, I would probably use her. I even like Ouvre as a horse too. I just don't really like the mile, but I mean, 14 for or 11 for 14 on the dirt. It's pretty impressive and ran well, decent sprinting on the turf. It's just kind of hasn't tried the distance once last year in this race and ran a decent second, but yeah, I don't know. I think you could make a case for any in this, and I wouldn't knock you really. And I agree with those kind of closers, maybe picking up the pieces, but yeah.
Yeah, a couple of these races are kind of like a lot of similar profile horses in like the 3 to 5 to 1 type range. Like this one, you could see all these horses kind of getting out the same, and it being like 6 wide at the first pole, at the first call, which it's just like who gets too far out too long.
Yeah, that's kind of exactly how I saw it too. That's kind of why I went with the 2 over the
Yeah.
the fancy, just because I think I lean toward the inside horse because I think too sharp definitely is going to be the quickest in scent, but then yeah, like 5, 6, 7 could all kind of, or maybe not the 6 maybe, but 5, 7, 8 could all kind of stack up, and that 2 could kind of just sit in behind, um, but close to the pace.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. This race is going to be a lot about how they break, I think. So we'll see how it breaks out.
Yeah.
We're going to race 9. This is a 6 furlong sprint, an allowance. No winners, one. I'll start this off here. I thought this was a kind of similar race as the other one, in that a lot of the horses are front runners or early pack horses, and a lot of them have been running these sprint distances for a while with mixed results. So it was really hard to get away from like the couple favorites here. So I'll just kind of take on one that I liked, and I'll see if you got to the other two. But I'll go with the 11 Agoo. Similar profile to these other couple favorites like Attaché and Band for Life, who I liked. But just a really good early sprinter at the 6 furlong distance and gets out early. I'm not too worried about the 11 position because this is one of the few horses in this race that has ran a pressing pace before on the outside and finished to win, or finished really close last race by a neck against world record. This is only his third race back with Lasix. I like that as an angle as well, kind of coming back off a layoff and improving with Lasix, repeating the same classes works out a lot of the time. I'll mention as well though with the favorite Attaché. It's a similar setup, I think, as like the 2 sharp race, the other one. Just a really solid horse at this distance, a couple bullet workouts, has been right there pretty much every time at these 6 to 7 furlong sprints. 5 of 7 times in the money at Churchill Downs and 4 or 5 at the distance. So another really hard to beat favorite. Gets a jockey change here to Geraldo Corrales, which I like. Just hasn't been getting the job done with Bejarano. But if you look at the last few races for Attaché, they've been against some really solid horses. Star Wonder, Senior Officer Harrisburg, which isn't an amazing horse, but a hard front-running horse. Yeah, I'll just mention those two, and then maybe I'll mention someone else after you go.
Yeah, I thought this was a difficult race too. Of the favorites, I kind of agree. I think I like the 11 best, just based on the trip, where I think there is some speed in this race, and he's proven that he could probably finish the best. But I don't think he's a lock by any means. I mean, the 3 is obviously has a chance. The 9, the one wild card horse I like is the 4 Colorado Cruiser, 10-1.
Okay, I was wondering if you were going to mention him. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a horse I'll definitely use at a price. I mean, first start basically year-olds, race back in February, but looks like is the speed of the speed. Was really quick last year, and blinkers on, gets LASIK for the first time and working bullets. I mean, 47 flat from the gate at Keeneland. I mean, 3 bullet works in a row basically at Keeneland, and almost 4 works in a row. So this one seems like he's ready to roll, and with the natural development, if he's matured and gotten stronger, he could fit with this group. So with the addition of that horse, I was kind of looking for maybe even a deep closer that's not that maybe fast on numbers, like this could potentially be a meltdown race, and maybe the 8 Wind Rider could be interesting too. Was kind of close last time, but finished off that race nice. Gets LASIK for the first time. Just run some nice, strong late pace figures in his 2 career races. So maybe a bomb that could come up and hit the try. But yeah, that's kind of what I got for this race.
Yeah, I was interested in the 4 too. I'm glad you mentioned him. What do you think of the 10 then as like if the pace melts down race? Because with this the change of trainer in that last race, he actually came off the pace and then went super wide at the turn and still only lost by 3 3/4 lengths. And then they're changing jockeys. Like sometimes Axel Concepcion will take them really wide.
Which one did you say? Sorry.
The 10 President Z.
The 10. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, the only yeah, exactly. I mean, he's a deep closer that second start for Dutch Road too. Yeah, no, that's kind of like this the same horse I was talking about, or the 8. I'd kind of seen them in a similar light where I could see a scenario where the pace just gets absolutely crazy, and a horse like one of those two um, just comes from the back and wins.
Okay, yeah, you got me interested in President Z now that you mentioned like all the speed in this, but yeah, it's a hard race. These are a couple of difficult ones, and like you can see the favorites, but there's just so many question marks that it wouldn't surprise me to hit a couple bombs in these first few races. Let's go on to the turf. This is my favorite race. You said you liked it. Mile 16th Commonwealth G3. Pretty difficult. I thought there's a couple horses I really like. As some prices, there's horses I like a lot just in general, but I don't know if I can get to them in this race. You mind going first and let me know what you think, and then I'll just copy you.
Yeah, yeah. I have to start with the one My Boy Prince in this race. I thought he had a shot last time, and for some reason, Jose just put him on a suicidal pace. That's set him up for the 2 DeVoe runners closing at Keeneland, but this horse is a pretty cool horse. It has early speed, and this race doesn't have a ton of early speed, so I don't think necessarily he will be sent to the front just because of he kind of got cooked by the pace last time. But if he does get the lead, I'd be happy with that. Or if he just sits on that and gets a nice rail pocket trip, I think he's facing a lot weaker competition today, and I definitely think he's got a shot. And then the other horse coming out of that same race, the 9 Evade, was kind of wide and rank into the first turn, and then got a decent trip after that. Kind of came up the rail, but I still thought ran pretty well. You don't really see horses with that type of trip into the first turn. I thought he was gonna just quit and not run a race. So he did get a favorable trip after that, but I definitely think that this gelding has a little bit of talent, especially coming over from Europe. He's got some back class. The 8 Hershey coming out of that race, that's the one I don't like. Was kind of up close to the pace, but kind of got a perfect rail trip. So not one I necessarily like. So the 1 and the 9 I like best. I don't like Lagnos the 7, who had the pace last time, didn't really do enough. I do think the 3 Dashman is probably a likely winner and probably the best finisher. Drawn inside, definitely a good chance, but will probably be the favorite too. So definitely gonna go with the 1, My Boy Prince, and then maybe use the 3 and the 9 as a backup on a ticket. But definitely, I'll be betting My Boy Prince if he's in that 5-6 to 1.
Okay, yeah, I'm with you on the 1. I have 2 horses. There was the 1, and then I'll get to the 3. A couple of little details I like, but the 1, like I call that like an angle horse. Like he's got all the angles going for him, so you gotta love him, you know. Yeah, in that last race, I think that was like a throw job by Jose or something. That was crazy. He just kept going.
Yeah, it was,
but yeah, he could easily.
He rides for DeVoe. Like he's DeVoe's #1 rider, and he ends up on that horse and then sets it up for the 2 deep closers for her. So yeah, that's one of those you think after the fact you hit you in the head. You're like, yeah, okay, that's not. It's a little bit fishy, but
little fixed job, maybe. I'm not sure what that was, but they don't have to send him. Like, I'm glad they're swapping to Florent Giroux here. Just try something different. They probably would have won that last race if they didn't send him so hard. So they can get to the lead in this one and just sit it, and they're gonna have a really good shot. I think that's a really hard one to beat. I had the 3 as well, Dashman. This is a cutback in distance. This is a drop in class. He had an amazing finish last race against a lot better competition, and then he got blocked a little bit in the stretch, and he still only lost by a length and 3/4 to Carson's Run, who just had like a phenomenal stretch run, a bit easier trip. So I think that's going to be the horse to beat. He's in the inside. He's going to be right off the pace. It's just a question of how slow does this pace go. I guess Hershey could be the kind of the question mark with the pace as well, I guess, because they have sat him back before a little bit, and then they were just off that crazy pace last race too. So it'll be interesting how far back they let Dashman get. I really like Laganos as a horse, but this race isn't his race. He was a lot closer than the running line looks to showing in that race or the placing. He was so wide and had a lot of traffic until like halfway through the stretch, but I don't think this is a good race for him. I'm glad. I would be glad if he actually loses in this race to get a longer price on him at a later date, in a better position. But I like the Vade as well. But I think it's the 1 and the 3. Those are going to be the 2 front runners, the pace setters. And it's a question of how much do they get pushed by Hershey, I guess. So yeah. Also telescopic, not in this race. He ran today, so smaller race than that shows right now on the PPs. Arksel Bin Derby. Do you know anything about that horse? Like, what the fuck is that name? The 4.
Yeah.
Why is it named that?
I think it's just a play on words for Arkansas Derby or something. I don't know. There's probably some inside joke or something.
Inside joke. Did you watch the replay from its last race, the Hawthorne Derby?
I don't think I saw that one yet. No.
I don't watch a lot of Hawthorne races, but it looks so dirty. It looked like it was fixed for that horse because he came flying just like forced into the stretch, and he just slams another horse so hard that it sets him back like a length or 2 and takes over his spot. And it wasn't even an inquiry or anything. I don't know. I don't watch that track a lot. I don't know how they do stuff.
That's funny. I'll have to take a look. Yeah, I just looking at
he's
paper.
raced Dashman clothes. It's a weird horse.
Yeah, it might be a horse to take a second look at. I just think shortening to a mile and a 16th, and I don't think this pace is going to be as hot. I think kind of got the meltdown last time, but yeah, you're right. I mean, that form behind Dashman, he was, that's a good second and kind of huge pace figure, big 2 back. But yeah, if this was a mile and an 1/8, I would like him a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't see the pace heating up.
Yeah, me neither.
That
weird
fast.
Horse. One of the weird name and weird race pass, weird PPs. Then you get all of a sudden they're gonna get Junior Alvarado on them. I don't know. I'm gonna keep an eye on them. Let's go to the last one, mile and the 16th, maiden 120. I don't like maiden races, so I'll just give out like how I'm probably playing this from a pick 4 perspective. I'm probably just gonna go with the 7 and the 3 Girl Math and the 7 Golden Gamble. They were in that last race together, and they both had really good runs. Girl Math, the 3 was dueling like the whole way at some pretty decent fractions, and then Golden Gamble had actually a tougher trip and was set back behind a couple horses, and then came flying down the stretch behind Girl Math and the horse that won at California Sunset, I think. So those are the horses with the experience in the mile and 16th. They actually both look pretty good. If Golden Gamble goes off anywhere near 7-2, that seems like a steal because I don't know much about these other horses. I liked a little bit the 8 bottomless Mimosa. A good closing 6 furlongs last out at Churchill Downs, maiden 120. Changes to Julian Leperoux here. I'll probably play that a little bit in the vertical bets, but I don't expect to get too deep in this as a horizontal play. Did you see any other horses you can convince me on?
Yeah, I mean, I think I like the 8 best from a values perspective. Bottomless Mimosa, the one you just talked about. McPeak's good sprinter route, and his horses improved second time out. So I mean, if you like the 7, he's got another horse in that race that first time routing. I do think that one has a lot of upside. Yeah, this race might prevent me from playing the pick 4, pick 5, honestly, just because I do think I don't have a strong opinion. You know, the 4 ran decent first time routing. That one could take a huge step forward, but it's not a big price. Brad Cox, first time starter, could obviously just run off the screen at a short price. So I just
Yeah,
don't really
a lot
think.
of short prices here.
Yeah, same thing. I mean, the 6 Madeline's Promise ran okay. First time sprint to route. Even Romans has some really good stats and a positive ROI doing that. So any of those horses going sprint to route for the first time, I think have a lot of upside. Because a lot of times, if that's what they're meant to do, especially that's what the trainer wanted them to do, those kind of even running line sprints, you can actually usually. I like those a lot. Just like mid-pack sprinting efforts, then stretching out. Those horses tend to really step forward. So yeah, I don't really have a strong opinion in this race, and I don't really see any bombs that I really like. So
Yeah, it's a kind of dud maiden race to end a pick on. Yeah, that's why I'll probably play maybe get to those 3 horses, the 3, the 7, and the 8. And then if I'm making money that day and I get to a vertical here, I'll probably play just the 8 with some of those sprint the route horses. Maybe it's not a good looking fun maiden race, honestly. Like that floor, that also 3-1. Like I don't get why that. I don't get why that horse is 3-1 morning line. I don't see that horse like being exceptional, but I don't know. It's a lot of
$1 million purchase.
yeah. I guess that's
purchase. Asmussen, well bet on debut. Didn't have a greatest trip. Ran fine sprinting. Yeah, that horse will definitely get bet again.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it looked okay. Yeah, okay. I can't bet it 3-1. So yeah, the girl math horse looked a little bit had a stronger trip, I thought, and I like to see a maiden runner duel in their last race. It can be a good setup, but we'll see. I'll spread with a couple of those ones we mentioned, the 3, 7, 8. If I'm alive in that leg and any of those hit, hopefully some of the other horses, or the other races, we hit some bomb horses. So, it's going to be a good selection. These 4 and a couple. If you go earlier in the card, there's some good races for like the vertical bets, really, some exactas, that kind of stuff.
No, I agree. Yeah, I think there's another turf race too, like the 5th or something like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and do the
maiden
turfs
race, but yeah, hopefully there's some horse from Keeneland that I can pick out of there too.
Any I guess that'll be it. Any wrap up stuff? Anything you want to plug?
No, not really. It's been kind of a little bit of a lull after the Breeders' Cup, but should be back to doing. Yeah, I'll do a daily kind of preview for Del Mar each of the 3 days this weekend, and on my blog too. So give a few best
Definitely
bets.
tune into that.
I won't give them all.
Not all your best ones.
Yeah,
Save your best bets for yourself.
Yeah, I'll give a few good ones out there if I can find them.
All right. Well, thanks for hopping on this with me. Appreciate it.